Morning and welcome back. I am pleased to be joined by not one but three ladies. And I'm not going to make any comment about gender equality, but one lady, her position is mother. She's a primary caregiver at one of the primary. She's careful to tell me it's a team. And I love that because, yes, there's no kind of solo journey here. Teamwork at the village. And so I have Opal with her precious name. Opal James is at the table with me. And I have Hilary Nemhard. And of course, I have Stephanie Lumley, who is the team leader. So I'm going to allow Stephanie to just say a little bit about the team that she has brought with us to us this morning as we welcome them to the Morning Connection family. Remember, no, they are no strangers to us. I think by now we are a part of their family too.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mrs. Lawrence, for having us. My name is Stephanie Lumley. I'm the Fund Development and Communications Advisor, part of the team at the SOS Children Villages, Jamaica. And it's our pleasure. It's our pleasure to be here. So thank you for having us. Today, we have lots of things to celebrate. We're celebrating the birth anniversary of our founder, Herman Minor. We are also celebrating 50 years of SOS in Jamaica.
Wow.
That is a very, very, very important milestone. So, I want to thank, first of all, my colleagues here, Hilary Nemhard and Auntie Opal, who got up out of their beds very early.
Thank you. We are used to it, because we have to send the children.
Oh, you have to get them out to school.
Yes. I really, really appreciate you ladies being here. And, I want to say a special good morning to the rest of the SOS team that is tuned in. All our SOS family and friends
Oh,
who are getting
wonderful.
ready to call in their pledges of
Oh my
support.
goodness. Excellent. Excellent.
But yeah, we are part of a fantastic team. We are one of the best childcare providers in the country, and we pride ourselves on upholding and maintaining that standard for 50 more years to come.
Yep.
All right, let me hear Miss Hilary's voice now.
Hi, morning everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for having us today. So I'm the social worker. I'm the resident social worker at Stony Hill, and I'm currently acting village director. So, today I'm excited to be here. Number one, it's
Yes.
my first radio interview. So for today, as Stephanie said, it's Herman Minor's birthday, and we're celebrating 50 years. At the village, we're having an amazing activity. We're doing our treasure hunt activity this evening with the children and the caregivers, and I'm looking forward to it.
So it really is a celebration both for those who are working as well as the children who live
Yes.
there. Like any family.
Like
It's I love it that you seek to create a home environment. So it doesn't feel like you're in a state care. So Miss Opal, what is the secret
Today,
to creating that home environment
That was-
with your many children?
that was Herman Minor's dream.
I was reading about him and read that his parents died at a fairly early age,
yes.
and he went through some tough times. Well, how are the children arranged? I mean, do they live in clusters of 4 or 5, or how do you make
As the
it
name
feel like home?
mentioned,
Yes,
It's a village.
Yes.
And it takes
a village to raise a child.
it takes a village to raise a child. So basically, that's it. So we have like the mothers and we
Yes.
have the aunts. I hear,
Ah,
and I heard that in the future there maybe will be fathers, because
oh, that's
we want
true.
to raise them
Yes,
that way.
yes.
So it's a village, and there are 14 houses on the village, but there are 7 now in operation.
Right.
I think so. Hopefully, we are running on the limit right now, but we hope to get some more in the future. So each house we have house 3 to 7 going right now, and each mother or aunt would look out for
the
each
children
other
in
look
their
around
Yes,
in their
yes.
house. So if one is going from house 5, that is my
That's
house.
your house.
Going down, they would say, "Go back up your house." So it's a village. You know, it's a village. And our auntie hope all this one is going through the gate, or this one
Right.
is, you
Yeah.
know. So basically, that's how we do it.
You know, Stephanie, I had never given thought to how you simulate that village experience. What are the main components of a village? Or yeah, how do you recreate it so the children feel like we are living in a community? This is not some kind of penitentiary.
Well,
Or
it's a fantastic question, Mrs. Lawrence. Where I would start is we lead with love. There is unconditional love for every single child and young person and adolescent that lives in our village. The truth is, a lot of the children come to us from less than favorable circumstances. And, you know, although we do have a main guardian, there is an auntie who substitutes for her because self-care and rest is important. So they are not on call 24/7.
24/7. So yeah, that is one difference with real families.
Yeah.
Mothers are on call 24/7.
They are, and even when they are not officially on
Yes,
call,
yes,
they
man,
always
because
are worrying about their children.
yeah.
You know,
The
we
children
have
don't
to-
recognize rest. My son used to, like, if he came for something,
Yes.
and I said, okay, mommy's resting for a moment. When he comes back, he says, okay, mommy, when you're done being lazy. He thought the word lazy
Well,
and rest.
interesting vocabulary he has.
Yes, he would say,
But-
oh, and he's very straight faced saying it.
Yeah.
When you're done being lazy, can we do so and so?
But
It's the
children
thing.
are, you know, we
Mom is
try-
at rest, are being lazy.
and we give them that space as well to express themselves.
Yes, yeah.
We want to help to develop.
Oh, so you're not constantly smacking them and saying rude or oh, I love tell me about
Sometimes we want to, but we don't.
You don't. All right. So there's love, and clearly there's discipline. How is that managed?
Well, we're constantly training our team members. So we have our direct care workers who fall under the supervision of our village director, who is here with us, Ms.
Uh-huh.
Nemhard. Ms. Nemhard oversees all the operations of the Stony Hill village. We also have a village director for our Barretttown village, located in St. James. So they have a more executive portfolio of duties. So they are the ones that give a listening ear to the aunties. They're the ones who budget all expenses, everything that's
All right. So you've mentioned another component of the real home, the budget and the
budget.
conservation. But I want to ask Hillary, what training does one need to be able to handle that? Because, you know, most housewives not get no training.
True.
Or mothers don't get that kind of training. But so what training did you have to acquire in order to?
For me,
Yes.
I'm a social worker, so you know, naturally, I have a degree in social work. For
Acquire that UWI here or UTech, or where did you
for
study?
me, it was NCU.
NCU. You know, I keep
Caribbean
forgetting
University.
that we have more universities and more.
Oh yes,
So a shout out to your university
shout out
because
to Northern Caribbean University.
Yes.
That's where I pursued my degree in social
work.
Right. So for myself, I have an amazing team. I have family counselors, family facilitators. I also have another social worker who I work with, and of course our admin secretary. So for us, for the technical team, we work very closely with our caregivers because, of course, you know, sometimes there might be issues or challenges with children, how they relate to each other. Also, you know, that building that relationship with their caregivers as well. You know, so the technical team, they are there to provide support for the caregivers and the relationship building with the children.
So let me ask Miss Opal now, mother. Recently, there was a complaint in the media. A mother she was unable to manage her son. I think she had twin boys, and she had to put them in state care. And whilst in state care, horrors and misery, and she was complaining that she couldn't manage them and so on. So, how do you handle the unmanageable, or do you have those situations? Because maybe you get intervention early. Give me an idea on how
Yes,
you are able
you
to.
said intervention. That's basically, I think it's a gift.
Yes, yes.
It's challenging, but I think it's a gift, and I think I possess one of those.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell from the smile. She's anointed to love everybody. 'Cause maybe some of you can't see her smile, but the heart of a mother does not
Yes.
come easy.
No.
And okay, you heard me speaking earlier.
Yes, I heard you.
Favor Williams, Minister Williams, spoke about this need to change at the heart level to address what is happening in the homes, so you don't find one day that 5 people are dead because that young man is not even 30. I know I've seen
I saw the
23 and I've
picture.
seen 24.
Very young.
He would have just leave your place then for a couple of years, because at what age do the children leave you, Opal?
23.
Yes.
We don't just put
Well-
them out like that. They have to achieve something first
Yes.
that they can manage on their own, because they have children there. They go to regular school, they go to colleges, and then when we see that they can manage now,
Then
that's where
they-
they
just
leave.
like
So
a-
if they
society.
even
So
reach
just
25,
like a regular home.
just like
Right.
a it's a
I
family.
love it.
Going back to
Yes.
earlier, you asked a question, The truth is the vision of Herman Miner is to create a family-based care.
Yes.
Yeah.
So SOS Children's Village, it's not the typical, children's home where
not an
it's
Yeah,
institution.
It's not
it's
like
not an
an
institution.
institution,
I
right.
love that word.
It is a village.
Yes.
Right. So, it's family-based care. The children, they grow up in a home, a family home. Like they
So
would
now
their own home.
that would mean that they regard each other as real brother and
Siblings.
sister.
Yes.
So when you leave, I mean, I have 6 siblings. That's just 6. Look like if I was in your village, how
They
many
have
would
a
I
lot.
have?
They have a lot, and trust me, these young
Oh.
people, like, they create such strong bonds.
Bonds, yeah.
Trust me, they do.
And the bonds have endured for 50 years because there is a particular past SOS. Well, she's a
Yes.
very senior woman to me. She was amongst the
The first.
cohort.
I was going to
And
ask
she
you
is
about that.
Still in contact with her brothers and sisters
From her
from
village.
Barrettstown's village,
Yeah.
and even now she's the one that she keeps up on her Instagram page,
Yeah.
and she will message me and saying, this is what is happening. I want to organize this for this particular village, and what she's on the ball.
This is-
and she's one of many.
Let me
who
tell you, Herman
keep
Miner
up.
for Prime Minister.
Hey.
Though he's
that man is an
that
inspiration.
vision is
That man-
is enduring.
He's not from a rich family.
I saw that in
and
my
what
research.
he did was in what we would call in the modern days crowdfunded.
Yes,
He
yes.
crowdfunded to get one house because the advent of SOS Children Village. First of all, he's Austrian, and what was happening at the time was there was a war, and he walked around and seen children who were not basically being taken care of. So there was
Well,
partial shelter.
the aftermath
They
of
weren't
war
really-
is rough
yeah.
on everybody, and especially
They were
children.
running amok
Yeah.
all hours of the morning.
No
all hours of the-
supervision,
no supervision,
no care.
And he saw that and decided to act and to do something about it, and that ballooned.
Yes.
So many years later into SOS Children Villages.
How many are across the world now?
We're in over 120 countries.
Yeah.
Over that, not all countries
Yes.
have a village. Some countries have programs
Yes.
where they help families to be better able to take care of their young.
So I have to ask you this, and this question will fall somewhere between the two of you.
Right.
Such a model, how effective are you, if you try at all, to share it with the homes that are in Jamaica, the state-run facilities that are in Jamaica? Because there are elements of what you're saying which makes such natural sense that I would imagine that how you do it and so on is something. Do you do tours for other homes, or are you a part of a network of what is happening on the larger stage in Jamaica?
So tours, I can't say yes. We do tours for other children homes, but we work closely with the government because all our children are wards of the state.
Yes.
Naturally, they come to us through CPFSA, right? And I, for one, I'm a direct liaison with CPFSA. I have to work very closely with their
Yes.
officers. Trust me, the majority of what we do, it's similar, really, because
Okay.
all the other children's home, the staff there that I've interacted with, we basically do the same,
same
thing.
things.
But the vast difference, though, it's the fact that ours, it's family based.
The village concept.
The village
is-
concept.
yeah,
The truth
yeah.
is, I can't speak to if it is something that the government will adapt. I really
Yes,
can't speak
yeah.
to that.
Well, for one, I mean, the Best FM family loves it, and as you've seen, we've tried to do whatever little we can with you, and we certainly celebrate you on this important day for the work
you.
that you are doing. And I
Thank
love
you
it
very
too.
much.
The
Thank
team
you.
that you have brought is the kind of team I like because it is representative of the different levels
Yes.
of what you're doing in the organization. So
Right.
I'm especially pleased to see Miss Opal.
Thank
Miss
you.
Opal, I've had a lot of persons say to me, I have clothes and, some petite persons, some bigger persons. Are you in the market to receive gifts of clothing for these children?
absolutely.
Oh, well, all right now. Don't all answer at once. And what about toys?
So
Because
for Stony Hill, our youngest right now is 12 years old.
Right.
Because you'll have persons who they do come up to us and they tell us we have some clothing items. I mean, sometimes we have to say, it's more so like nursery for children in nursery.
Yes.
Probably check Glenhoe or go to somewhere
or
else,
Maxfield,
or
or,
Maxfield.
yes.
You understand? So
Yes.
for right now, our youngest is 12 years old, up to 23.
Yeah.
Basically.
So let me ask you: is that a policy, or
no.
any age that you?
No.
Okay,
We had much younger children, but right now
they've grown in
they've
your
grown.
care.
Yes, we have an age.
Yeah, I
in the
know.
population.
The 12-year-old in my house.
Yes.
Maybe going closer to 6 weeks because it's
Whoa!
Done.
Oh, it's like mine. It's like one of mine.
Yes. But in terms
Oh.
of support
Yes.
for SOS Jamaica, we take in kind, we take monetary donations. We actually are trying, especially in our 50th year, we're trying to partner with other non-governmental organizations and other voluntary groups who want to make an impact and who want to make a difference, not only in the short term, but over the long term.
Yeah.
We're in this for the long haul.
Oh, you
We're
have
not
to
just-
be.
We are not just trying to raise the 12-year-olds to make it to 18 and then that is
Nope.
it. We are providing as close as a memorable childhood as
Yes.
possible. We want to give them good memories. We want to put functioning citizens, contributing citizens into society, because the need is great.
The first time I met you, you were doing. It was in the Independence season,
Yes.
and you were having a cooking competition, teaching them to make local dishes and so on and so forth. And I was captivated by the sentiment that you expressed, that as in any family, you want them to have memories
Yes.
of how to prepare the ackee and saltfish. And I never did see who won that competition.
It was group. Oh dear. Let me not.
But are you doing that again? Is
I
that
think
the
it's
kind
House
you do it?
13.
I want to
Okay.
House
I was
13
on the
one.
Instagram page, so give me a few minutes and I
I
will.
will bring it up. But
yeah.
what are you doing for this summer or this independence? We're 60 years old. This independence,
60 years,
only 10 years older than
SOS.
SOS.
Yes.
So what you doing for your 60th? Or how are you looking to celebrate that?
Well, this is a perfect opportunity to open up to collaborate with whoever wants to do
Okay,
something
so you're
special.
looking for partnerships.
We have a village of foodies. They absolutely love
The children.
Oh yes, they are growing children, so they love their food. They love to see where where they live. I know they love to go on outings,
Oh yes.
supervised outings.
Yes, naturally. Like,
They love to explore. They're just think about the regular teenager or preteen or young person. They're vibrant. They're hilarious. They're talented. They're the future. And every time I get a chance to interact with them, they give me hope.
well, I hope they give you hope to get married and have children. Because I can tell that this village is your family.
Absolutely.
All right, we got the signal to take a break because we've reached the 7:30 hour. Can you believe it? We've been talking for half an hour.
Wow.
All right, stay with us. We're gonna be right back. Oh, welcome back to the Morning Connection. So I have a mango that I'm gonna raffle. No, it came from the tree here. So it's kind of soft on one side, but you know I would give it to Mama. I would not give it to you young girls who need to climb your own mango trees.
Wow.
And then because I give it to the mother, you know she's going to share. You know, one of the most stirring memories of my childhood is like waiting on my mom to come home. So of course my mother had 7 kids, and that all I'm number 3. So most of my childhood memories, like maybe 5 of us are there. The last 2 are much younger, but I always remember how we would kind of gather at the door when she's coming and watch her come over, and of course you're gonna be shouting because your mother come home, and then she always had something in her handbag. I've watched my mother bite the ice mint to give everybody a little piece. It don't matter what she can. Well, you know how children are. She cannot come in if she not bring something, because half the excitement is that she brought something. And I look back at it and I thought, oh my God, wherever she went, she had to remember that when she go home, there's gonna be this excitement around her foot, and they're gonna be saying, "What you bring?" If it's an icy mint, she bite it up and share it. So I have no doubt you have those kinds of experiences in the house.
Well, if you indulge me,
Yes, you have a story.
I do. And I grew up. I have 2 older siblings, so I'm
Yes.
the wash belly. And one of the memories that come to mind is when we would get home from school, my older brother, so the middle child, he would come home and make these sandwiches for us.
Is that the chef one?
So get
I want to hear this.
because I have beef, right? So he would make these sandwiches, and he'd put sausage and cheese, and then sprinkle Italian herbs on top, because that's how our mother taught him, right?
Yes.
So this is years and years. We'd walk home from school and we'll have that until mom or dad comes home. Now, he is executive chef at the R Hotel. That same
Sandwich.
is on the menu. And I'm like,
What is it called?
I don't even remember.
Oh, I thought he named it.
Purchase that if I want you to make it for me. And he's like, well, that's what happens when you have 15 years of
Experience. And you gave him that experience. Because if you first.
him could have killed me off.
So now we have to go to the R Hotel to experience Chef Lumley's. What is it called?
I have no idea.
I'm sure it have some
Just
exotic
ask for
name.
Chef Lumley and tell Chef Lumley that you need to give you that sandwich that he needs to make for him.
That he practiced on
Yeah.
when you were all in school. So you have a memory, or you have a real experience now that
it's
is
my
mother
experience
current.
because I grew up with my grandmother and 4 aunts around me. I was the first grandchild, so you know how that go.
Yes.
Everything them pinch put in my mouth.
Ah, all right. So, so you know what I'm talking
Yes, I
about.
know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So basically, that lives within me. So I have to share with them.
With the,
And
yes.
my personal things, I don't left them out. If I buy
You don't have no
one-
personal things.
Like if I go out, suppose I go out on the road
Yeah.
and I feel like I want a catch, or because I love, I kind of
The little chocolate snacks.
So I will cut it when I come in, and I will make sure everybody
Get a
of it.
piece. How many kids are in your house?
I have two children.
2.
But
Yeah.
they're adults now.
Yes.
They're
Okay.
adults now.
So you practice on them like Chef Lumley.
Yes, with no
so now,
regrets. With no regrets.
well, let me tell you, man. I believe it's one of the most satisfying jobs you can have to have the care of someone younger that you can pour into. And I get into teacher mode quite often myself, just just wanting to share.
Yeah.
And that's the foundation of the giving. What about you?
So
You're not all professional. You must have some. It's the mango, Stephanie. You can't jump like that. The mangoes fall here like,
right.
gifts
So
from the
for
sky.
me, when you mentioned the ice mint,
Yes.
I went straight to being in church with my mommy, because of course there's no being in church without mint ball or ice mint.
There you go.
Of course, I'm no wash belly, of course, so the ice mint or
Pure wash belly up here.
the ice
And
mint-
first granddaughter.
Yes,
please.
the ice mint or the mint ball that will share between myself and my niece and my nephew,
And
So
anybody,
all
who,
that are shared
and anybody who look and see that something is being shared. Yeah.
Bite, piece, and share.
And let me
Just
tell
like
you, man,
communion. Yeah.
absolutely, it is the right place to practice it. So it's good to know that, you all come out of family situations that motivate you one way or another to be excellent at what you're doing in the village. Let me ask you a housekeeping question, kind of. How do you choose persons to come in as caregivers? You have to do like police. They have to bring police record, and you have to check them for.
Definitely, most definitely.
Tell us how you vet, especially even volunteers too, because I know a lot of people want to help, and I think they need to know that there are some standards.
Okay, so for the caregivers, for the mothers, it's so the general recruitment, you have to apply for the position, after interviews. Definitely police record is a requirement. We have to do that. And of course, you'll be preparing meals for the children, so you have to have a food handler's permit. So, and also character reference check. All of that is done for all the staff. Not just the mothers, all the staff. Because guess what? Everyone has to interact with the children no matter what.
So is there any government regulation that stipulates any standards for you, or you have to create your own and just abide by them?
So of course, for CPFSA, there's the standard of care that we have to go by. So there are guidelines for admissions down to, if there's an incident, everything.
Reporting
basically.
requirements.
And of course, for SOS, we have a number of policies,
We're
Yes.
a university.
Yeah, and you are part of a global network.
Yes,
so I guess
exactly.
you have
So
governance.
we have local and global standards that we must adhere to. It is not an option, which is why the SOS difference stands out among other childcare institutions in Jamaica, because we do not hold ourselves to the bare minimum standard. We always try to exceed
Whatever
what the
is
global
required
standard,
locally. So let me
requires of us.
Let me ask you a funny-ish kind of question. Suppose I have a house that I want to donate to the village, or would you co-opt and like an existing facility? I'm speaking now to the persons who are thinking,
Yes.
this house, I'm not leaving it to my grandson, come and mash it up.
Yeah.
I'm not doing so and so. And what you want to do is gift it to be included in. Do you have homes that exist like outside of the tight village unit?
Well, let me just
Give me that
say
scenario.
before Hillary tells us about the transition care facility.
Yes.
We do bequests. It's a very touchy topic. It's very not touchy. It's very sensitive.
Not for the person who dead and gone.
No, but we have very good relationships with our donors, our committed donors. One donor on average stays with us, contributes to us for 9 years or more. So what tends to happen is some donors, especially ones who live both in Jamaica and overseas, they may have a property and they would state in their will, my wish is for SOS Children's Village Jamaica to be gifted with X, Y, and Z.
property,
So it
yes.
may be the property, it may be part proceeds from the
sale of the property, yes.
But we give thanks. We are very, very grateful. For
And I'm
those
sure you
donors
encourage
who-
it.
Of course,
Yes.
those donors who, in life, have us in their hearts, to think of us that way.
Yes.
It is something that we are deeply appreciative of. And we encourage people to speak with us, call our national office, speak to anybody at any staff member at SOS Jamaica, and they will direct you, and you will be taken care of.
All right. So I'm going to give some thought to it and see how I can add words of encouragement to persons, because there are many persons at a particular age and they have property and they know that that property not going to be put to no good use.
Yes.
If SOS Children's or any children's home is open to taking care and setting it up as a home that can deal with what now? The transition house. I love the idea of the transition house.
Yeah.
What did we see? In the papers a few weeks ago, there was a young man complaining that he had been assaulted, sodomized repeatedly by men who picked him up off the street in Spanish Town. A homeless young man, and he said that he had been living on the streets for maybe about 5 or 6 years. He had aged out at a state institution and had no home, which I maybe got to 18. I heard you say like 23, or you get your kids through college like any other family. But he had been homeless since, and these men abused him, and he was taken in. I think he contacted a retired police officer from the neighborhood, and she got him some help, and she was appealing to persons to, if they, because he needed work, and I mean, just horrible. And, he was still in pain and so on and so forth. So that tells me there is a need, even persons coming out of state care, where they might be inflexible, and when you're 18, on the morning that you're 18, your little bag is at the door. And
that's not so at SOS Children Villages Jamaica.
Well, I don't know how they do it.
That clear.
Because Hillary is dying to tell us about transition houses.
Go ahead.
Okay, so, thankfully we have some donors who, it allows for the children and the young people to acquire some form of saving while they're in care, right? So at that stage when you're transitioning into independent living, you're going to have to secure rent. You have to secure a security deposit when you're renting somewhere. You have to sleep on a bed.
You have to buy furniture.
You have to buy furniture. I mean, coming out of state care, how are you going to acquire all of that for yourself? You understand?
Yes.
So they have a bit of a saving that they can go back to try and acquire those things that they will need. I mean, grant you, not all of them have that, because they have different sponsors or donors. So not everyone will have the same amount, but the truth is there are persons out there who provide that type of a support for the children in our care. And we do appeal to others to donate to us.
Yes. And it seems now that one way that persons can assist is if you have extra space in your house, if you can have independent living or part-time independence. I'm just thinking, if you say you have a 5-bedroom house and 3 bedrooms are not in use, could someone who is coming out of, who's just moving into independence, can be a boarder or a tenant or some sort as they are kind of moving their way out? Or if you have a whole house that the village can use as part of their transition. I see Hillary thinking about it deeply.
Yeah, because it's somewhat kind of touchy, really, but the truth is, if we do have citizens who, they are extending that type of support, it would be lovely.
And you'd figure it out, how to make it safe. So let me ask you now, when the kids,
I like that term.
Yes, because it's safety, and I know that has to be a primary consideration. When they are 18 years old and they're adults and able to make their own decisions, how do you what do you do for them to, do they volunteer to stay? They have to sign something? I mean, how do they just stay? Tell me what it's like. It's my 18th birthday and I'm in house number 1.
So no, it's not a contract or anything like that.
So the mother come to me and say, well, now a minute, The time has come.
Now 12 is now midnight. Have to go at sunrise.
Yes.
No.
What is there a speech that I would get?
No, man, no. So of course, majority of them when they reach 18,
Yes.
there's this hype and there's this, I'm an adult now,
Yes.
There's that, but there's also a plan that you work through with that young person, The important thing is for them to identify what it is that they want
Want
for
to do.
themselves
Yes.
and to help them to work towards that.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
it's not you're 18 now, so what you gonna do? It's a plan from earlier age, because you're going through high school. After high school, what is it going to be?
So are they separated like the older kids? Do they have their own house?
So,
or
all right. So we have the family houses and we have the youth house.
Yes.
The youth house is normally, 15 and older lives in the youth house. Because, of course, sometimes the younger ones and the older ones might not,
the conflict.
there's a greater level of privacy.
Just like school and home.
Cool,
At home, yeah.
The older kids feel they are so advanced, so much more mature, and they have different interests.
Yes,
So they
yes.
don't want to mix with the younger ones, and the younger ones can be annoying and
Yeah.
get in.
Yes, yes,
So
and don't
think
come
they
into
need
my
their
room.
privacy.
And don't come into my room.
yes, the mother knows best.
Yes,
Yeah.
they do need
They
privacy.
need their privacy. They are growing. They are exploring their personalities, and they need that privacy.
And of course, it gives them room for, development. So at, your late teens into adulthood, you're going to learn to prepare your meals,
Your meals, yes,
that type
and
of thing.
Keeping your
You're
room
going to learn
clean
what a
and so
budget
on.
is.
You're going to
And
learn
how
what
to
a budget
budget,
is. You're going
right.
to learn how to shop.
So let me ask Mommy the question of the morning. Dating and relationships.
Hey.
Hey. What? How?
Well, with mine,
Yes.
that I have in
Bring your
the
mic up,
house,
yes.
I talked to her about it, but I don't know if she's denying it, but it's not of her interest.
Yes. Yeah. Well, some of us
She's-
are late bloomers, you
Yeah,
be sitting at this table.
She's not interested, but I think somewhere along the line,
Yes.
and I could guide her on some of that.
Yeah. So you have to
When
be
she's ready.
right. You have to be prepared for that.
Yes.
What are the official guidelines now?
So,
Because though they are siblings by covenant, they are not siblings by blood. So what happens? How are you able to keep them respectful of the distances and so on that need to be observed?
the truth is, we don't have that issue really,
No, we
because
don't.
growing up in SOS, you're brought up as
Brother
your
and sister.
brother and your sister.
It would be incest.
It would be. It is not, because
Yes.
as you said, by
Yes.
blood they're not related. But the truth is, that's how they grow up.
Yeah.
It's your brother and it's your sister. It's really how they grow up.
That's
I will
wonderful
kind of instill that in them.
in them. So it's what you teach them.
Yes.
Every time we're here saying you reap what you sow. So if you're not planting the right crop, please don't wake up with your basket ready to get something different from what you've put in.
Very wise word.
Yeah. All right. So let me see where we are in this. We have like 7 minutes. I'm consulting my producer. I want us to cool down the conversation we've been having here. Of course, I am gifting my mango to Mother Opal.
Thank you very much.
First gift of the day. I have pledged my mango.
Thank you. Thank you very
Yes. For the no, it's Mother Opal. Don't try Opal.
much. Here, thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I am going to share this mango.
And like if it was in my house, somebody would be waiting on the mango seed. Somebody's gonna. It was never me, but I know how things get shared up. Mother Opal, I bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving love to our children. I want you to give me one story, the greatest joy and the most difficult experience you've had in that job.
All right, the greatest joy is seeing them grow.
Yes.
Watching them grow.
Yes.
I really don't have any disappointment because I think I can handle it. I can deal with it.
Most challenging, not disappointment, because just challenging. Which one tests you to the limit and you have to dig deep?
Can I call names?
No.
No, I can't call names.
No, just give me an example of a thing that you have to dig
all right,
deep.
for example, if I'm going out this morning,
Yes.
so maybe I would get up like a little bit
A little earlier.
and I tell him from yesterday that I'm going out this morning, so I need to get up, and that one would get up and and start to spread and him go when you reach up here because you have to downstairs and upstairs. Now if I'm alone, if the aunt is not there, but when the aunt is there now, she would be in the kitchen and you upstairs because every day basically I have to tell some of them the same thing. Get up, brush your teeth. Go
Oh
and do this.
yes.
So when
oh,
you go
yes.
downstairs, go and prepare the meal down. Then up there do
Somebody got back and do that. I know.
That part of it. Yes, that part of it.
So you have holy
Yes,
patience.
up the stairs, down the stairs. up the
Yes,
stairs,
yes.
down
Saying the
stairs.
same thing. Like it's a surprise. Every morning you have to get up, get dressed, brush teeth, whatever. School. With my 15-year-old. When he was much smaller, like you act like it's a surprise that there's bedtime. Every night you have to go to your bed. There's to be no crying. Because he never wanted to let go of the day. What about you, Miss Hillary?
For
Greatest
me-
joy and the most challenging.
All right, so greatest joy.
Greatest joy.
Greatest joy. You being at the village, interacting with these children, you see like some of the greatest transformations. And when I say transformation, I mean like behavior wise.
Yes.
You'll meet a youngster who, on the outside is just rough edges, And then for me, because this is my 5th year at Stony Hill, and I've experienced, interacting with a child who very poor behavior. And today, it is a different youngster.
person. Yes.
It is a totally different youngster. So for me, that's
the greatest joy.
the greatest joy
Yes,
to
yes,
experience that change in a child, maturing into a young adult.
As you pull the best out of them.
Hey, that's
All
it
right.
for me.
All right.
That's
So
it
now
for me.
greatest challenge.
Greatest challenge. Listen. The reasons why children come into care.
There's to be no crying on the morning connection.
Listen.
Only the host is allowed because I've cried. But I see you getting there. You're seeing something. What were you seeing a while ago?
Every Mother's Day,
Yes.
I get emotional.
Yes.
I do. And that is because, they don't have their biological family. They don't
Yeah.
have their biological mother. I get emotional every
I see
time.
it. I see it. And
Every
there's a
time.
hunger for it because no matter how much love Auntie Opal give, there's that curiosity and a hunger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's that trauma for them.
Yeah.
Being
Yeah.
separated from their biological family gets
It
me.
doesn't get easier.
It doesn't.
Yeah. And I tell you, we have to love hard. You know I left you for last.
Yes.
So your greatest joy need to make Opal smile.
They know that you love them,
Yeah.
Yeah, but they might respond to that in a different way. Maybe they're not going to give you the hugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they know because they play with your emotions.
Yes. Greatest joy.
My greatest joy in what I do at SOS is seeing that all the sweat equity, all the long hours, I see the impact. And I know that impact it's not just for now.
It's lasting.
It's not just a job. It's a purpose that I have. I've always wanted to work to the benefit of children. And now I'm getting to live that dream. Fundraising in a pandemic
Yes.
is not for the faint of heart at all. But the goodwill that SOS Jamaica has is the best part. You have people who 20 years ago came on the village for something, and then they have maybe some in-kind donations, and they just show up at the village with cases of water or a
Yes.
bounce
Hey.
house
Yes.
or whatever. Some people, you know, oh gosh, I have to talk about this past child. The other day I was sitting at my desk, and you know, I got mail, like actual snail mail, and I opened it.
Letter
and
with
it was a
envelope.
check from
Yeah.
a past SOS child, and he scribbled in, I know I was there, I remember the work that you did. And oh god, and I was a puddle.
All right. No crying on the morning
I'm not
connection.
crying, I'm not crying, but it's just that
And my co-host, oh Lord, Pastor was here now and be mopping him up as we take the break.
But yes, the absolute best part is being able to make a positive impact.
Yeah.
Yes.
In real time, no matter the challenge, no matter how
You know, I'm gonna release you from giving the greatest challenge. You know why? Because it's 8 o'clock and it's time for our break. Yes. Let me just say thank you to my guests from the SOS Children Village, Stony Hill.
Stony.
Yes, because there's Barrettown and we're not.
and there's the national office. I'd like to say hi to my co-workers.
But I'm glad I reminded you.
Thank you very
Of the
much.
extended
Thank you very
family.
much for having us.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, I enjoy
Yeah,
it.
tell me about the mango. That mango is a different kind of mango. The
You know,
flavor of it
I
is
was wondering,
different.
This
Please do not ask me. I want to say it's mongrel mango.
no, yeah, this
That's a Jamaican mango.
Them call them bastard mango. It's somewhere, it's somewhere in between.
Yes, Lowell
Indian-
gone political point. No
Indian.
bastard. No,
Look at them plant a East Indian tree and then it bears
and then it,
something.
yes, it is the magic of nature, but it's
Yes.
delicious. All right, let's
Let me
take our
just say
break. Oh, yes,
right
go
before,
ahead.
If you want to get in contact with SOS, please
Oh,
go
yes.
on social media. Visit us at SOS Children Villages _Jamaica on Instagram. You can call me at 564 668. You can WhatsApp me. You can look up on Google, call the village at Barrettown, call the village at Stony Hill. We please,
Yes,
we need your
and
donation. We
this-
need your support.
Well, I'll let Miss Opal have the last word.
All the caregivers, all
all the aunties,
not
big up
just
all
our
the
organization, but
caregivers.
all
All
caregivers.
Yes.
care
And
facilities.
happy Herman
Yes.
Minor Day
Because
to all the SOS children villages around the world.
World, yeah.
We
boy.
are it's an absolute privilege to be part of this federation, and you know there's just so much more to come because you're going to join us at Stony Hill.
Yes, later today we're gonna be live streaming from Stony Hill. We're taking the pledges. We're gonna have some fun.
Yes.
And I'm to announce the number. What is the number? You wouldn't believe we had an
I have
hour.
it right here.
We had an
I
hour.
have it. So if you want to pledge support to the SOS Children Villages Jamaica, please WhatsApp or call 1-876-361-6583 and ask for Eden, because Eden is the one behind,
Yes.
the one behind the scenes who has been working all the magic. Thank you so much, Eden.